Hello everyone, and I welcome all of you to Online Study for You, a complete placement solution. This is Pratik Srivastava here, founder of Online Study for You. Friends, many of you have already written Cognizant and Capgemini examination. Now you are worried about, so what will be the cutoff, what will be the next round, when the interview will be conducted, when the result will be announced. So all those queries you have in your mind, and through this video I am just going to tell you the expected cutoff, expected date of interview, expected date of result for Cognizant and Capgemini, right? Okay. Now, so friends, the first thing which you might have observed, right? The campus hiring program for Cognizant. So we will start with Cognizant and then I will tell you about Capgemini. So for Capgemini, you have to wait little. After this, I will go there. So friends, campus hiring 2025 program, okay? And Cognizant basically hiring for 3 different roles, right? But friends, there is only one exam which is going to decide, that is nothing but technical assessment, and definitely your interviews as well, right? Okay. So if you get selected for genc, you will be offered 4 lakhs per annum. If you get selected for genc Pro, you will be offered 5.4 lakhs per annum. And if you get selected for genc Next, then you will be offered 6.75 lakhs per annum, right? Okay. Now, let us come down. So this is about your roles which you are aware. See why I am telling you, so that I can explain you with respect to your technical assessment, that how the things is going to happen for you. Then the registration date was 30 August to 7th of September. Screening was there, okay? And then communication assessment, which generally happened on 11th and 12th, okay? Fine. And friends, the round 2, which is the main round, and there was a small change here in Cognizant examination which they had communicated in the pre-placement talk, right? Okay. So friends, the aptitude assessment and game-based round. So instead of reasoning, okay, they had asked game-based round. So in aptitude, if we'll talk about the cutoff one by one. So in aptitude, there were total 30 questions were there, and the time limit was 30 minutes, right? Okay. And then game based questions. So friends, for game based question, definitely there was no fixed number of questions. It depends upon how many questions you are able to do in the stipulated time of 9 minutes, right? Okay, whatever the time was given. So in that time, how many games you are able to do that. So actually game based round will not be a deciding factor, because everyone will perform well in game based round, and if you do it correctly, then only you will be able to move to the next question. So you also know that you have solved many questions from the game based. Now the problem most of the students faced here. So aptitude, the problems were not easy. The pattern, they have completely changed it. So the question level was like somewhere you can say TCS level, moderate to difficult level of the questions were there, but not all the question. If we talk about 30 question, so you can say like 8 to 10 question, you could have easily done it by yourself, right? And the remaining 20 question definitely needs practice. See, I am separating it so that you will be able to see. I wanted you also to tell how you will be able to guess the cutoffs from that particular rounds, okay? So friends, basically 8 to 10 question were easy and 20 question were difficult, right? Okay. So almost everyone would have done 8 to 10 question. Also, I had uploaded a video and many students commented that, sir, around 6 questions were repeated from that video, right? Around 6 questions were directly repeated from that video, so they were easily able to mark, okay? Now, friends, for deciding cutoff, no, there are multiple things are there. Number of seats, how many students they wanted to hire, okay? So if they wanted to hire in bulk, definitely the cutoff will go very much down. But friends, here if you'll try to see, right? Here if you'll try to see, so 8 to 10 questions were easy and total 30 questions were there. So you can say your cutoff will be around 14, 15. So you can say your cutoff will be easily, right? So your cutoff will be easily around 40 to 50% you say. So around 12 to 15 question, if you have done it correctly, then you will be easily able to clear the cutoff from aptitude round. Now you have to see how many questions you have done. If you have done 5, 6, 7 question, then definitely there is a doubt. Now friends, in technical assessment, right? So this was a deciding factor for your genc pro and genc next, right? And according to that only they have also put the packages, right? Okay. And here if you'll see this particular line, so all shortlisted candidates will be notified on the hiring categories for the interview. So this will decide for which hiring categories you are selected, and based on that there will be technical interviews, and this particular technical interview will be in person, right? So this will be offline. Now it depends upon the company, right? So if your interview is conducted in your college, or they are calling you to some office locations, but most probably friends, your interview will be conducted in your colleges itself, right? So you do not have to, so it's most probably I am telling you, so it's not very much confirmed. Okay, now friends, the question comes, sir, I have done one question, I have done two questions, sir, I will be selected or not, I will be rejected or what? So if you will have a look at, right, so the clusters, so basically you had cluster 1, cluster 2 and cluster 3. So cluster 1, 5 questions were there, 120 minutes were given to you, right? Okay, so 2 SQL question, this we have taken, this data we have taken from the student. 2 SQL questions were common across all the clusters, right? And then this Java coding 2 questions, 60 minutes, right? Half of an hour was given for one coding question, and then HTML, CSS and Java questions were one question were there for the time 25 minutes. So 60 plus 35, 95 plus 25 is 120 minutes. The total test was there for 2 hours, right? If we talk about the cluster 2, 120 minutes again for 5 questions, 2 SQL queries 35 minutes, Python coding questions 60 minutes, and cloud computing 10 questions were there for 25 minutes. So this is going to be your deciding factor for genc pro and genc next. Now, so friends, here definitely this coding question is important. So if you don't do any coding question, then it will be difficult, right? So if you do one coding question, okay, if you do one coding question correctly, right, so then you will be called for genc pro. Okay, if you do both the coding question correctly, then you will be called for genc next. Okay, genc next. Okay, and friends, here if you will try to see, so other things, right, like your SQL queries, HTML, CSS and Java, right? So your other parts, no, so that will be a deciding factor for your genc. Now suppose if you have done well in coding, and if you have not done well in this SQL and the other parts, right? Okay, so then they will be finding out the marks, right? So what is the marks? Basically you have got total marks, based on that you will be called. But if you have not done any coding question, then definitely you will be called for genc. And if you have done along with these things, right, so if you have done this and if you do not have done coding, then you will be called for genc. And if you have done one coding completely, genc next, genc pro. And if you have done both the coding question, then you will be called for genc pro. It's like TCS only, right? So if you have done one coding question correctly, you will be called for digital. If you have done both the coding question correctly, you will be called for prime. Okay, so this was basically one additional, like, okay, SQL, if you have the basic knowledge of SQL, basic knowledge of HTML, CSS, basic knowledge of cloud computing, you have or not, otherwise you are not even fit for genc. So it's not like if you have not performed well, or if you have not done well in the technical, right? So if you think that you are going to get 1 or 2 marks or 3 marks or 5 marks, then definitely you will be called for genc interviews as well. Okay, so this will give you a fair idea. And now friends, so let's go to that particular sheet. Okay, so let me close it off. And then if you'll try to see here, because many of the students were asking, sir, I have done 1.5 code, 2 codes, right? So based on that, they will be calling you. And after that, you will be getting letter of intent if selected after the interview. Now friends, suppose you have done both the coding question correctly, right? You have also performed well in Java, and if you have also performed well in HTML, CSS, right? Then, but you did not perform well in the interview, right? You were called for genc next, and you did not perform well in genc next. Then what will happen? Then definitely your offer will be downgraded, right? So there might be a possibility that you will be rejected, you will not be getting any roles. Now suppose if you do not perform well in the interview at all, then they will reject you. And suppose if you perform average in the interview, then out of these 2 roles, 1 role you will be getting it. So even you have to perform well in the interview, otherwise even after called for interview, you will be rejected. Okay, so please understand everything and then prepare accordingly. Now friends, the next thing what I wanted to tell you, so still there are many people, for them the written test is not been conducted, right? So the interview, definitely there will be a delay. So you can assume your interview should start from 7 to 10 days. So again, this is just a expectation. So now if your technical round is over, then you please start preparing for the interviews, because you're, see, first of all you need to get the idea, right, that what kind of questions they will ask, and then only you will be able to perform. So I am going to upload a video after this, so Cognizant interview experiences. So there you will be able to understand that what kind of questions you need to prepare, what kind of question they can ask, all these details you will be getting it, right? Okay, so you have to now wait for your interview. No further round will be there in Cognizant now friends. So please someone put the time in the description. Okay, from here we will be talking about the Capgemini. So if you go here friends, so Capgemini has definitely changed the pattern, and we discussed this yesterday. Okay, so what is the change in the pattern? So the change in the pattern is the verbal ability part, right? So friends, earlier there was essay writing. Okay, now the essay writing is not there. So instead of essay writing, they have verbal ability question. 30 questions is there from the verbal ability. And friends, I had also told you how you will be able to prepare for the Capgemini, right? Because we have already uploaded lot of content over there, lot of content in the verbal ability, right? And today we are also going to upload the content of the examination which happened yesterday, so in PDF file, in video form, right? So this is the Capgemini course, right? And if you go inside the content, right, so if you go inside the content, you can see some kind of PDF files. So 200 plus 50 Capgemini pseudo questions PDF. Capgemini verbal ability also we have uploaded. Again, we are going to upload some more, right? DBMS MCQ also we have uploaded, right? So friends, already we are, putting a lot of things over here. Okay, so just 699, and it will definitely be helpful for you all, right? Okay, now friends, so pseudo code plus IT fundamentals. Okay, so 40 questions were asked, and for 40 minutes. And friends, each round is elimination round. So this particular round is your elimination round. Okay, so for Capgemini also we have different, right? So for different packages are there. I will just tell you because I don't remember. So anyway, so for pseudocode and IT, 40 questions are there. And generally, no friends, for this cutoff will be around 60%. So you could say around 24 question if you have done it correctly, right? Out of 40, pseudocode plus IT together, then you will be able to, right? So, pass this section. Okay. So if you have moved to verbal ability, that means it is very clear that you have cleared pseudocode round. Otherwise your exam will get over, and from pseudocode directly you will be reaching to behavioral round, right? So many people were yesterday telling, sir, after pseudocode I directly got, because see, this is a round 1. So this is round 1, this is round 2, this is round 3, right? And this is not a round actually. So your behavioral round is not an elimination round. Okay. So now Capgemini, okay, Capgemini, fine. So analysis. Okay, so basically friends, here if you clear this, then only you will be able to reach to the verbal ability. Verbal ability questions were very easy, right? So the questions were based on your error detection, fill in the blanks, right? Synonyms, antonyms, right? So here out of 30 questions, if you do right 15 to 80 questions, then you are good to go. So you will be able to clear this section, and this is again an elimination round. So this is again an elimination round. So here also, see, you have to understand the cutoff, right? Okay, fine. And then friends, game based aptitude. So game based aptitude basically will not have any kind of, see, everyone basically will be able to clear it off, but again, so this is also a elimination round. Okay, this is also a elimination round. So many people will reach, many people have already reached till here. And then you will be, behavioral will be common for everyone. So if you clear or if you don't clear, the behavior will be common for everyone, right? Okay, so I will tell you about the package first, and then okay. Now, so for Capgemini is hiring for analyst role. So analyst role, the package will be, right? So for analyst role, the package will be 4.25 LPA. for analyst star, right? So for analyst star, the package will be 5.75 LPA, and for a senior analyst, the package will be, and for senior analyst, the package will be 7.5 lakhs per annum. Clear? Okay. Now, so friends, after this, what will happen, right? See, many of the students, friend, different colleges, this time different things are happening. There is nowhere in a proper or fixed manner something is happening. Cognizant did not tell that they will ask game-based aptitude, but they started asking directly in the exam. This Capgemini fellow directly changed this essay writing without any information. There is no syllabus released from Capgemini even to the colleges, and they directly started asking verbal ability. So now what they have done, so friends, for the analyst role, if you are selected, right, then you will be having a communication round. Okay, so you will be having a communication round. You can also say, so this will be similar to the Accenture one, okay, and then you will be having interviews, and then you will be called for the interviews, right? Okay, so friends, if you have cleared game-based round, okay, then you will be called for communication round, and then you will be called for the interviews round, right? Okay, so this communication round is spoken, you can also say spoken English round, right? So that still has to happen. Now friends, if in your college, right, so if they are hiring for analyst and senior analyst role, then they will be calling you after this, they will be calling you for the coding round, one more coding round. Okay, there will be two coding questions will be there for 45 minutes, and if you clear that, then only you will be called for again communication round and for the interview. So if you have already reached till game-based interview, so now you have to wait in another 2 to 3 days. If you are selected after this, if you are not eliminated from the game-based round, then you will be called for communication round, and then you will be called for interview. There might not be communication round for everyone, because in 2 of the colleges I asked a student, they told, sir, they are calling for communication round. Okay, and if you are eligible for this, if your college is telling you that if you have eligibility for this, then you will be called for the coding round, and after that communication round, and then interview round, right? So friends, I hope you would have got a fair idea of so what is cutoff. And see, this communication round generally will happen in 2 to 3 days after you are getting, right? And the interview, right, so the interview might take time, so it might take 7 to 8 days for the interviews, right? And then the result will be taking another 15 days, either in case of Capgemini or in the case of Cognizant, right? So when things will delay, because there are many people who have not yet written the examination, so you have to expect that, okay, so this interviews and all will happen in 7 days, and after that the result will take another 15 days to 1 month also. So that cannot be said, because LTI Mindtree, they conducted written test, after that there is no update from LTI Mindtree. Okay, fine. So this is what I wanted to convey you. Thank you, take care, all the very best. We will meet soon.